and gents, and welcome to the Island of Rob. This week we'll be talking about the Wells Triathlon, also known as the Norfolk Triathlon 2017, where we'll be going through how I got on, how my team got on, and also giving it marks out of 25. As always with this, I will give you the marks out of 25 first, so that way the people who are here to have the quick review can get their information and get going if they want to, and those of you that want to hang around and find out how we actually got on can hang around till the end. And as always with the events, I'm going to try and slap together a little bit of a photo and video montage. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. First on my list of review points is the event site. Now the event site is a really nice site for a triathlon. It is a Wells harbour. You have good parking because you can park at the actual football ground. The actual logging in for the athletes is at the building in the football ground. And then from there you can go to the transition area. Transition area is also well laid out, and it's not too far for you to go from parking to the actual event, so you haven't got to carry too much of your gear back and forth. In terms of beauty, Wells is a lovely seaside town. I was doing the swim stage, and that was through Wells Harbour, and that was very picturesque. There's a lot of yachts, etc. It's very nice, and the actual course was a good course. Now I've learned a few things about it that you'll find out if you hang around till the end. I could probably do it better than I did, but it all comes with part and parcel of the course. Of first time you do it, you've got to learn some bits and pieces. So event site overall very good. Cycling, as far as I know, it's quite a nice route. My cyclist said that it was okay, it was just a bit windy. And in terms of the run route again, very nice route, however was quite sandy. He said it was a bit of a fun struggle, and I was worried when he crossed the finish line that he might actually be sick on me, but it just means he gave his all. His body was trying to make himself lighter to get away from whatever the hell it was he was running from. So pro skills for putting in good effort, Stevie. So event site, out of 5 I'm going to give it a 4. Facilities. Now facilities, there was a shop from the company Try Harder, so that means if you have forgot any of your gear, you can always fallback plan, buy some bits and pieces. Likewise, if you have a nightmarish moment where you put your wetsuit on and you put your foot through your wetsuit, you've got a backup plan if you've got some plastic. Likewise, there are shops and facilities there and about to buy food, drink, etc. And or candy, floss and fish and chips, but I wouldn't suggest necessarily doing a triathlon on those things. The actual toilets provided are the football ground / play area toilets, and being seaside toilets are a little bit dank, but that's not the fault of the organisers, that's just the factor of those toilets have a lot of traffic. And as anyone who does triathlons know, any toilet in the vicinity of a triathlon is gonna be dank because people are going to lighten the load. But overall, facilities, again, really good. Gonna give that a 3.5. In terms of accommodation, I can't really comment on accommodation because finally and fantastically I decided to do an event which was in the actual area where I live. I didn't have to go and book a hotel, I didn't have to drive for several hours, I just had to drive for 40 minutes. So I decided to drive from my house that morning. It was glorious. However, Wells being a seaside town, I would not be surprised if there are countless bed and breakfasts and likewise hotels all around there. And if you haven't been to Wells before, it is a nice seaside town, so give it a go, guys. Maybe you can book a couple of days there and make a weekend of it. So overall, that being said, I'm going to give accommodation a 4.5 because I can't see it being difficult to get places down there. After accommodation, we have organisation. Organisation is obviously a really important point for any triathlon, and this one was really well organised. There were people making sure that the actual competitors had somewhere to park. There was someone checking your names as you were pulling into the car park, which was fantastic because it made sure that when you get there you haven't got the hassle of trying to find a place to park, which is a dream. And likewise, when you get in there, they had all of your bags pre-made up, so they had all of your numbers and a couple of goodies, etc., in the bag for you to have, and that was really well laid out. Likewise, people checking you going in and out of transition, again really good. Probably my only comment towards things they could improve in terms of organisation. They're pushed for time because they've got a lot of people to go through, but some further instruction on where to stick numbers, etc. One thing I would suggest if the organisers of the Wells Triathlon are watching this video is one of the things that I thought was really good for the London Triathlon is they actually produced a short video. So it was sent out the week beforehand and it went through how to stick your numbers on, where to stick your numbers, where you need to go, how to transition, and it just means that people turn up to the site having a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. Thankfully, having done triathlons before, I could give a little bit more insight on where the numbers go, likewise looking around and seeing where people were putting them themselves, and realistically these were no great issues. This is nitpicking, so ultimately it was really well organised, and I really liked the safety briefing beforehand. It felt inclusive and it made everyone feel like they were in it together, especially the sharp intake of air when they announced the water temperature. Yeah, so really good. Overall, I will give organisation of the Wells Triathlon a 3.5, so you're sitting on a good number so far, guys. And last of my 5 points is first aid. First aid is a paramount thing during a triathlon, and you want to have that knowledge and that safety blanket that if you do fall off your bike, if you do have an issue in the water, or if you do have a problem during the run or at any stage, that you will be looked after and you will have the correct first aid available. And to me, it looked like there were a good amount of first aiders around. One thing I really liked was there were people keeping an eye out for the runners as they came across the line and giving them their foil blankets, even if they tried to deny them, because after a few seconds of them stopping running, they will want it. They had kids running around handing out bottles of water. It was really good. It felt cared for, and likewise you could see that there were some trained professionals waiting in the wings if something, God forbid, was to happen. So yeah, ultimately first aid, I will give it a 4.5 out of 5, which means that the Wells Triathlon is sitting pretty on a nice round 20 out of 25. Very respectable score, guys. I hope you're pleased with it. And that concludes the official review stage of this video, and now we can move on to how our team got on and my personal input on how I got on during the race. Now, we had a team, and firstly in this video I've got to say a massive thank you to my team. We were arms, wheels and legs, and there was myself, arms, doing the swim stage, my very good friend Neil, who was wheels, doing the biking stage, and the notorious Stevie Fisher, who was legs, doing the run. And they all put in a phenomenal effort, and we done pretty well. I'm gonna mention that towards the end though. If you haven't done a team triathlon before, I would really recommend it. I've done triathlons on my own, I've done events with people, but actually doing it as a team is a really fantastic experience. And likewise, it helps eliminating any of the jitters that I've had post-event for other triathlons. Obviously, like with the London and things like that, you have only yourself that's going to go through it, but as a team you know that all of you are going to go through your stages, but you've trained for your individual stages. And there is a good amount of banter, at least with our team beforehand. There was a good amount of banter beforehand, which just takes the edge off. For instance, how they were saying they were going to cover my wetsuit in bacon so we could go crabbing while performing the triathlon. Didn't really appreciate it at the time, but it did keep my mind off the fact the water temperature was quite low. Not massively low before panicking people, it was fine. And once I got going, it was actually a good water temperature for me to swim in. The cycle was a hard cycle. It was windy, and the run was a killer. Apparently, the last quarter of it had thick sand, and I can only imagine how difficult it must have been. But they all trooped through it. Going via stages, I was up first for the swim. I was really pleased. I was aiming for a sub 30 time. If I get anything sub 30, I'll be happy. And I managed to complete my swim in 26 minutes 46, which is by far a PB for my mile. And as I mentioned earlier, the route, you had to swim out for some jetties, round some buoys, back, and then up to the exit of the water. However, other swimmers had going down, back, and then cut the corner. And judging from my Garmin, that actually is probably the correct route. That would actually work out to a neater mile than the route we took. And I reckon that probably cut off a minute or so off the time. So I'm looking forward to trying that one next year. I was really pleased with that. I think out of the 370 odd people, I came 140 something. So I was pleased to be in the top half. And likewise I managed to catch up with the wave before me. So I was feeling really good about that performance. I think I can definitely shave some time off that because my training has been rather sporadic due to the fact of all the different events I've been doing this year. That and how close they were to this event. I think next year I can probably up my swimming training earlier to hopefully mean that I'm at a higher peak next year, because we're going to do it again because we're addicted. It's really good. I enjoy triathlons already. Team triathlons, as I've said, fantastic. If you haven't done one, try one. That was a really good tagline, but it wasn't meant to be. Try one, triathlon. I'll move on. I got out of the water, I transitioned and gave the timing bracelet to Wheels, aka Neil. We had a quick transition and he was away. The wind apparently was diabolical. However, Neil was an absolute beast and managed to come 7th out of all the cyclists in the triathlon. So my hat off to you, my friend. Well played. And then he handed over to Stevie, and Stevie put in a really solid run. I believe Stevie came in the top 60, I believe. I can't remember. There's a lot of information to remember in this. But I believe he came in the top 60, and that was a truly Herculean effort. And that means not only did we complete the triathlon and got myself another medal, as did we all. And I don't know if you can see it there, it's actually a very attractive medal. It shows all of the disciplines on there, and I like the fact the swimming is not a rubbish one. Quite often the swimming looks a bit lame, but it looks good, and because of the water it kind of looks like it's got my beard. So yeah, happy with that, but we managed to complete that, and not only did we complete it, but out of the relay teams active in the race, we managed to come 4th. So we were just one little increment away from being on a podium position. Not that I don't think there are podium awards, but even so, want to get in that top 3 for the teams. And I believe overall we came 27th, which we were over the moon about due to the fact that none of us had done this kind of thing before, and we were all a little bit nervous about it. But as I say, now we are hooked, and next year we are coming for you, podium. We are coming for you. So yeah, joining the happy medal row, the Wells Triathlon. It was a fantastic and great day out, and I would suggest it to anyone. If anyone has any further questions about the Wells Triathlon, please feel free to ask in the comments below. Right guys, that is the end of my Wells Triathlon review and my viewpoints on how I got on personally. If you hang around till the end of the video, there will be a little montage, as is always the case with these events, and thank you very much to my wife, to my mother, and Joe Empson for taking some fantastic photos and videos that I can use, so enjoy those. Also, in the future of the channel, hopefully you guys will be pleased, I've invested in things for you guys. I have purchased myself a waterproof GoPro, so hopefully I'll be getting some swimming videos, hopefully I'll be able to get some runs. I can take you on a big long 10k run or even a 20k run, because hopefully I'll be getting up to half marathon distance again at some point, just because that way you can get an idea of the distance involved, because sometimes when you have a little snippet of me looking a bit warm running, you don't understand how far and how much of a commitment it is, and it really does make you take your hat off to the people that train the echelons above you. Also, on top of that, I will be having some more videos going up soon that will be around and about the DDP yoga workshop in Manchester. That was so good. Anyway guys, if you found this video useful, or you just like this content, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. I beg of you, comment below. Ask me some questions, have a chat. If you want some videos done here, if you want to challenge me to a particular event, feel free, I will take up your challenge. As always, I hope from the bottom of my heart that you guys are doing well, you're feeling strong in all aspects of life. Now take care of yourselves and be your own island.
Go on, mate. One of them, the greens, is late. Go on.